Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for patiently waiting. I feel a little intimidated talking to a room full of people who are experts in data analysis and analytics, and then sandwiched between talks on artificial intelligence. So I'm hoping that I'll probably be able to get out of this unscathed with my reputation at least moderately unscathed, so to speak. But nevertheless, as you pointed out, I've been involved in the life sciences and healthcare industry for more than 2 decades, and as a result of that, I've had a chance to kind of interact with several of the business leaders, especially in the life sciences, and I see a lot of excitement at this point in time because the opportunities that data and analytics and the ability to unlock the value in that data that the life sciences and healthcare industry presents today is unprecedented. And it's really an exciting time to be in this segment for several reasons. One is it's a large segment. It impacts every one of us, right? Everyone on this planet at one time or the other will have the life sciences need or healthcare need. And so it is already slated to become close to a $10 trillion segment, if I will, in the next 2 or 3 years. That is life sciences alone. And add to that, there is a chance actually really to unlock that data to really make a difference in people's lives, to be able to actually change the paradigm of treatment, paradigm of patient solutions, etc. And in that context, the headroom or the opportunity available in the whole healthcare life sciences segment is pretty large. So over the course of the next few minutes, I'm hoping to kind of be able to kind of share with you some of what we are seeing in the life sciences. And when I say life sciences, I'm largely restricting it to pharmaceutical companies as well as medical devices and biotechs. And kind of share with you maybe or hopefully excite you about some of the opportunities that are presenting themselves and how advanced analytics are making a difference. So to begin with, maybe it might help just for me to kind of talk to you about some of the key trends, some of the seismic changes, so to speak, that pharma and life sciences is seeing at this point in time. That is promising to kind of change the way we live, the way we manage diseases and stuff like that. The first one is demographic factors. The world is becoming older. The average age by close to about 20% of the people, I think, in the next 20 to 30 years will be above the age of 60. And as a result of which you can imagine that there is a much larger burden, if you will, on the healthcare system to be able to manage those patients. But coupled with that is the fact that we are not talking so much about acute diseases as much. More than 75% of the healthcare cost today is already on managing chronic diseases. So those two put together obviously means that there's a lot of data as well that's being thrown up, epidemiological data, patient data, medical, clinical, a whole variety of kind of data that is being thrown up just because of the change in the demographic factors. More importantly, I think the one area which is going to be really exciting over the next few years is the advances in biology. Somebody once said that, the 1800s were the era of chemistry. The 1900s were the era of physics. 2000 and 21st century is essentially all about biology and healthcare. And the one thing that really has been discontinuous in causing some of that change is the unlocking of the human genome. And that is actually throwing up so many opportunities because there's so much data available. And that's being used by pharmaceutical researchers and innovators to develop therapies which are much more personalized and to go after diseases which until now were kind of treated as orphan or rare diseases, etc. Today, we are looking at treatments for patients, even if there's 300 patients like that across the world, there are 300 too many, and they need to be treated. So again, there's a significant amount of data, genomic, proteomic, clinical, all kinds of data that basically is going to get thrown out. The third is, of course, cost pressures. I talked about the increasing health burden, but also the fact that insurance companies, due to political factors, socioeconomic factors, basically there is continuous pressure on basically providing value for money. And that's again throwing up the need to kind of present very data-driven evidence as to why your therapy ought to be kind of reimbursed by an insurance company. The fourth is really stakeholder expectations, and we've heard a lot about that from some of the speakers before, where customers have a different expectation in terms of the experience that they have when they interact with you as a company. They now actually benchmark the experience that they have with you to the best of breed experiences that they are having anywhere. So if they've gone to an e-commerce website, an Amazon, Flipkart, whatever it is, and had a fulfilling experience, they expect the same when they're talking to a pharmaceutical life sciences company. And that actually is basically driving, again, the need for being able to use data analytics to drive more meaningful omni-channel customer experiences. And then lastly, of course, AI, machine learning, as I said, sandwiched between all of those presentations. And we see that as an opportunity across the board. So put all these together, there's clearly an explosion of data, and that is fueling to a large extent the transformation in the life sciences. So what kind of data sources are we talking about? Across the life cycle. And when I point out the life cycle, I'm talking about the stuff on the top, from research and development, all the way from that out to market. There is a whole plethora of data sources. So we talked about R&D, biological, clinical data, the whole Human Genome Project is actually throwing up data, and then on an ongoing basis, we are actually collecting more and more data from clinical trials as well as other kinds of sources. Once you've researched the product, the next thing really is to get approval from the regulator. It could be a US FDA, it could be the European Medicines Agency, or every country in itself has their own regulator. They are asking for data. Now, in order to kind of get approval, again, there's a significant amount of historical data that you can actually mine in order to kind of make sure that the probability of success, the probability of your product getting approved is improved. Thereafter, once you've got basically your regulatory approval, the next thing is to get your insurer to pay for it. If that insurer is not going to pay for it, that product is of no use. So essentially there, the insurer is saying, show me the pharmacoeconomic value of your product. Again, it requires you to look at the data historically and come back with why is it that the cost of treatment or the quality of life of the patient is going to improve compared to the current standard of care. And then once the product is launched, you have ongoing information about the use of the product, off-label usage, safety, all of that. And that's coming into medical data, and then of course the commercial data, which is really sales and marketing data, patient support programs that are basically being run. So you can imagine that all of this essentially is throwing up vast volumes, but more importantly is varied in its nature, unstructured as well as structured. And so put that together, and essentially what ends up happening is it is very well recognized that unlocking the value from this data, being able to apply advanced analytics across that entire value chain is likely to generate significant business impact. Apart from the fact that you will deliver a significant amount of human impact as well, because it's better the treatments that you will be able to provide to your patients. And despite the fact that it is fairly well recognized at a very, very senior level across the industry, and I'm talking about the life sciences industry, that the EBITDA impact of advanced analytics is significant. Pharma is still, at one level, I would say, a bit of a laggard in comparison to most other industry sectors in the ability to use data and advanced analytics. And in fact, several surveys across the industry will show that senior leaders are saying, we just don't think we are using our data well enough. Traditionally, most of the data that was basically being mined by pharma companies was either their clinical data, which was the internal stuff they were collecting in clinical trials, or their internal sales and marketing data. Now, there are so many different sources, both internal as well as external, that they feel that there's so much more they can do if they were to get integrated insights from there. But at this point in time, they are considering, pharma isn't really high on the maturity curve in terms of its adoption of data and analytics. And that's a completely whole new story about how the data sources are managed, how analytics is done, and stuff like that. So suffice to say that there's a lot that can be done. But what got us here is not going to get us there. And what we've seen in the traditional approach, really, where a lot of the analytics, especially in the commercial side, is about how well is my sales force functioning? Is it appropriately sized? Are my call plans and segmentations appropriately done? That was, by and large, what people were doing. I think that needs to pivot. So traditionally, what we saw is that a lot of companies, large companies across the world, basically spend a lot of money in establishing or creating their data warehouses. Absolutely. Needs to be done. Integrate the data. But guess what? That data, again, as I pointed out in the earlier slide, is varied in nature, structured in some cases, unstructured in others, and therefore how do you really derive integrated insights out of it? What we've seen in the past really is very heavy FTE-based kinds of operations for just data engineering, creating that data warehouse. But that means that the actual computational processes as well as the AI that can generate real-time insights is something that becomes more of a bolt-on and is something that doesn't necessarily get the attention that it needs. But moving forward, we think that this pyramid is going to get inverted. And lean and automated data operations will essentially become the core. And that will, at least in the life sciences, require not just the ability to have sophisticated tools as well as sophisticated data engineering capabilities, but a significant amount of domain understanding as well. You need to know what those end use cases are, and I'll talk to you a little bit about those, in order to be able to make sense of the data. Even if you've organized the data into analytics-ready data sets, what are they going to be used for, and therefore which are the data sources that you need to integrate together? So making that lean will allow you to invest more in terms of resources as well as in technology to actually start applying some systems thinking to create platforms so that you're building once and reusing for multiple use cases, and then more and more in being able to use some of the more advanced AI and machine learning tools in order to train the system and then actually be able to derive more real-time actionable insights at the point of decision. Busy slide, but bear with me. Across the life cycle, this actually therefore creates significant opportunities. And the reason I put this up is because at the start of this talk, I basically said, I'll talk to you a little bit about some of those use cases, and I'll talk about them moving forward. But just to let you know, across this entire thing, there are different things that we can do. In the R&D analytics space, what is the business problem they're trying to solve? Clinical trials in today's market, even now, will cost an average of about $2 billion to bring a new innovative product to market. That's just the clinical trial cost, and that includes the cost of failures, includes the entire operational cost, and it lasts anywhere between 8 to 12 years. Patent life of that product is only 20 years, so essentially you're taking away 10 to 12 years or 8 to 12 years of that patent life, and you're left with only about 8 years in which you can actually recoup your investment. The question people are asking is there a way for us to use real-world data? And when I say real-world data, I'm talking about patient records. Today, in most advanced economies, we have electronic medical records available by the millions, maybe by the billions. So can we mine that data in order to, number one, accelerate the rate at which I can find patients who are appropriate for my clinical trial? Number two, can I validate the protocol, the design of my clinical trial in the real world? There's no point in designing a perfect clinical trial and then finding that it's going to fail. So can I do things which can increase the probability of success? And by doing that, essentially, the third thing that comes up is every clinical trial has two arms, right? There is a control arm and there is a test arm. Increasingly, even the US FDA is saying we are okay to kind of start looking at clinical trial protocols where the control arm will be purely synthetic or in silico. Just look at the real-world data from your electronic medical records and medical claims, and we're fine with that as the control arm, and then we'll use only the test arm, which requires patients. That significantly reduces the time as well as the cost of clinical trial, but more importantly, perhaps improves your probability of success. You can even fail faster, which is a good thing. As you move forward, obviously, forecasting, I'm sure all of you are fairly basically familiar with it. A lot of people have spoken about it. A lot of forecasting that is typically done in this industry is both what we call pipeline as well as inline. So essentially looking at what your product is going to do once it hits the market. But it's also forecasting as it relates to epidemiology. What is that patient segment going to look like? What are the clusters that are most likely to purchase this? And increasingly, this focus is now basically being applied into the marketing mix. Earlier, when we looked at pharma, it's all about sales reps going to a doctor. So I say, I have 500,000 doctors in India, or I want to basically go after 50,000 of them. Each sales rep can cover maybe a couple hundred or 150. I will size my sales force accordingly, and that's it. And then within that, I will basically do a little bit of marketing mix and budgeting, sizing and segmentation. But now, increasingly, the interaction between pharma companies and the healthcare professional or even the patient is becoming multi-channel. Under those circumstances, there is an ever-growing need now to optimize that budget mix. Where do I put my money so that I can get the maximum bang for the buck? So those are things that we are looking at in predictive analytics. Competitive intelligence is more basic secondary and primary research, just to figure out what your competitors are doing from a pipeline perspective. And then moving forward, I talked about the payer. Increasingly, the insurer is becoming a key stakeholder. Traditionally, in this industry, it has been the physician who has basically made the prescription choice, but not anymore. I mean, the physician still makes the choice, but it's the insurer who dictates whether that choice can be made. Several of you would have had a loved one or yourselves that had to go to the hospital. You might probably have a cashless insurance policy or something. There's a prior authorization required, whether this procedure will be covered or not. All of that essentially requires you to be able to present to the insurer, as I mentioned earlier, why is it that this treatment deserves to be reimbursed? And that's stuff that we're basically seeing on the market access side. And then, of course, sales and marketing, I won't dwell on that. Should not underestimate the requirement to have a very solid data strategy in place. And that's something, again, that life sciences has been missing. I was talking to a senior person in an e-commerce company a few months ago, and he said, I don't understand pharma. It's about data analytics is something that has to be brought in later on. It's all the Merlins and the sales and marketing, etc., who are the ones who make the decision. In e-commerce, that just wouldn't work. The data and the analytics is the centerpiece of what we do, because that's what's going to determine our customer experience and their purchasing behavior. So that's what's happening. Now, this is again a busy slide, and I, forget the thing we've done, looking at the clock, and I don't think I can go through all of that. But here, I just want to spend some time perhaps talking about 2 or 3 different use cases and see how value is getting unlocked. So one thing, for instance, is that there are several potentially life-threatening situations. So for instance, there is a particular form of cardiac disease called cardiac myopathy, which is related to another condition called amyloidosis, right? But be that as it may, that's not important. So threatening life-threatening disease, patients usually ultimately will die of heart failure, right? And at this point of time, the need is, can I identify patients earlier who are likely to have this condition? Can I intervene with some lifestyle modifications in order to improve quality of life and perhaps even extend life while we're looking for a treatment for that particular kind of cardiomyopathy? And, at this point in time, again, when you think about how people look at that disease itself, there are things which they call ICD codes, or International Classification of Disease Codes. So those codes essentially tell you that this person has cardiomyopathy or a condition very closely related to it. And that's what they restrict themselves to. But with your clinical understanding, if you expand the conditions that could lead to cardiomyopathy, then you start finding early signs And this is what it looks like. Again, don't spend too much time worrying about it. But essentially, if you look at that central dot, right, that is a volume of people who have primary intrinsic cardiomyopathy. These are people who, over a 3 to 4 year period, are very likely to have heart failure, right? Now, traditionally, all you would look for is look at the ICD codes and look at all the patients who have just that condition. But now you expand it, you look through millions of records and you find all the other large dots. You find that these are fairly frequent in patients who have that central kind of indication. And what that means, therefore, is you're able to identify, well, primary intrinsic cardiomyopathy might be the condition that you were looking for. You find conditions earlier, which are maybe 3 years earlier, 4 years earlier. They manifest as maybe atrial fibrillation, in some cases just hyperlipidemia, etc. And you basically begin to find these. And if you look at this whole longitudinal stuff, and this data is now available, but obviously cannot be mined manually, right? You bring your domain expertise and you bring your artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithms together, and you're able to map the trajectory of this disease. You're now able to find, and you start looking for patients who have these indications and say, I will monitor this person for seeing whether he or she has higher risk of developing that final heart failure and start intervening earlier. Here is a classic example of how patients' lives are going to get improved and how we might be able to change the paradigms of treatment for this particular disease. If I have to pivot to something else, again, too many models and stuff like that, but I talked about customer segmentation. The kinds of questions we may ask are, on the one hand, in the previous slide, people talked about early adopters, late adopters, etc. Can I segment my customers like that? Can I segment my patients? If you're like me, and you're on chronic therapy, I'm hypertensive, I'm terrible with my medication. I will forget my dose every so often. And that is likely to give me a suboptimal outcome. I'm glad I'm standing here, I won't have a cardiac episode and stuff like that, but there are other therapies which you cannot afford to forget. Right? You need to basically take that every single day. Now, can I predict which patient is likely to become non-adherent to my therapy or non-compliant? If I can do that, then I have a chance of intervening, either through a nurse counseling program or a reminder program, etc. So there are different kinds of ways in which customer segmentation is becoming important to the pharma industry. And obviously, you guys know all of this. Essentially, I create an analytics-ready data set. Now, the reason I say analytics-ready data sets is we talked about the enterprise data warehouse. There are a variety of data sources, but I could basically use my prescription data, which is third-party data. I can have my internal sales and marketing data. I can have third-party data of website behaviors or this website tracking the digital footprint of people. So the data sources now are so vast that the first question is, which are the data sources we want to use? How do I bring them together? And then how do I build algorithms on top of it to be able to segment people who may adhere or may not adhere, etc., etc. And then over time, this model obviously continues to improve in a recursive basis. So this is yet another business case. And the last one, and obviously this is what it looks like if you do it. So for instance, here you can see we're trying to find out who will be the early adopters of a particular therapy. And you start off with a large sample, and then you look at different, you segment at different levels. So you can say which segment is likely to have, is already prescribing this class of products. So that's the thick line that you see going down there. The next thing is if you're in the US, you don't want to be marketing to people who have a large number of patients who are on Medicaid, because the money that you get from there is very little. You don't have to pitch to them. You have to pitch to people where there's more direct payment or co-pay. So you basically say, I'm going to delete the people who are seeing too many patients on Medicaid. You keep kind of Breaking it down, you probably end up with a cohort of people that you want to segment and target, right? These are the kinds of questions that marketers will ask you. And there is enough and more data today, as well as the kind of algorithms needed in order to be able to deliver on that. I will close out just with one other area which is really interesting. This person before me talked about content effectiveness or content for e-learning and stuff like that. Here's the way we can do that, but not just at a level of a complete asset. Now, on sales and marketing, in pharma or in most other cases, you have what they call a visual aid or a detail aid. So you have a rep going and presenting maybe an iPad presentation to a doctor. But if you're sending out emails, right, what is it that causes a higher response rate? I can now slice up even a single slide of content, and I'll go to the next slide. So what you see on the left is just a slide, right? You could think of it as one flashcard, but actually it's not. It is about 100 different components, all meta tagged appropriately, right? Both semantic tags as well as messaging tags. And what that allows me to do is any piece of content, even your business card, or a piece of written documentation, or a graphic, or an ad, I can fingerprint it. And essentially create, let's say, 100 different variables or vectors that define it. Now I can do a lookalike of a new piece of content that I'm developing and say, you know what, this looks very similar to an asset that was developed 6 months ago, and that asset actually had a very poor response rate when it was sent out. But there's another asset which had, instead of a nurse, had a smiling grandmother. So I can go back to the agency and tell them, put a smiling grandmother, take the nurse off, right? That is the kind of stuff that is now, here and now. This is not futuristic, this is not something that will happen. These are not even proofs of concept. They are happening as we speak. So I'll kind of skip through this last use case and simply leave you with this, that there is a lot of data. Increasingly, we're now basically looking at just kind of scaling up FTEs. That is an untenable situation. So you're going to have the human in the loop and machine learning and machine intelligence kind of driving some of that decision-making support, so to speak, to create intelligent clinical trials, intelligent customer experiences, as well as intelligent content. That said, I want to thank you very much for your patience and take any questions if you have any comments. Yes, sir.
We saw a lot of slides around your use, perhaps use of AI or analytics, but we didn't get the real top 3 problem statements which your industry wants to implement, wants to solve using AI.
What are the 3? What are some of the largest ones? Yeah. So the first one I would say, bar none, if I were to talk to any C-suite executive in the life sciences, is how do I innovate and research products faster and better? So the R&D use case that I talked about, not the one with all those little balls, that was more trying to find out which patients are going to develop that condition. But you could use the same technique, right? So for instance, the biggest lag in a clinical trial is finding the right patient. And having found the right patient, what ends up happening is if I say, I'm looking for males between the age of 45 and 55 who have essential hypertension, right? That's too vast. And if I try a very sophisticated product on that kind of patient, there is a reasonable chance that I will fail. Some of those patients will not respond. But there may be something in your genetic profile that allows me to differentiate. So maybe I have a certain mutation you don't. And that mutation causes me to become a non-responder, but make you a responder. Can I screen for that up front? Right? So I can now start looking at genomic data and take that genomic data and then plug it into the real world and see how many of those people with that mutation develop essential hypertension, right? So that is one very important use case where AI is basically being used. A second use case, at least in pharma, everyone on the sales and marketing side will say, I want to Amazonize my customer experience. I don't need to tell you what that means. Essentially, it's about being able to map your customer, creating a customer graph. But the important thing in pharma to remember is that so much about what we do in terms of interacting with healthcare professionals is related to the content that is delivered to them. They are the end users. They will only consume the data that you provide. So the content analytics is essentially a critical part of that customer graph. Do you as a person care more about efficacy? Do you care more about safety? Are you more likely to see video presentations of a key opinion leader, or are you more likely to read publications? Do you get your content at a conference or not? So those kinds of things. I know you're kind of giving me the hint. There is another question. I'm happy to take it, or am I allowed? One question.
I would like to go for that question. So, sir, thank you for the excellent presentation from the healthcare perspective.
Yeah.
One of the things which I feel is a big showstopper for healthcare has been the data into multiple sources. I mean, to create a patient longitudinal data today, it takes tons of time, and all these systems, Epic, servers, they are so close. Still, so much value is locked in all these systems. Where do you think our industry will go in future, so that this whole patient longitudinal data can, the whole history of the patient can be then detected? Do you see any hope?
Do I see hope? If there was no hope, I wouldn't be standing here. For sure, I see hope, and it's an excellent question, and I don't have a good answer, so I don't want to kind of give you some hand-waving kind of thing, because it is a challenge, for sure. And in fact, when I drew that pyramid where I say so much effort is going into data engineering and making the data ready, right? That is the biggest challenge. And that data readiness, one of the reasons why it has not happened at the level is because initially the industry approached it as a pure IT problem. I need to just integrate it. Whereas you need to bring the domain expertise in there. You need to understand what is the end use. And therefore you as an end user, you came to me and said, I need to answer this question. Then I should be able to say, we need to integrate these data sources. So while you have an enterprise data warehouse, can I abstract out of that a data workbench, which makes a smaller, well-contained data set? How will that be done? Initially, obviously, a lot of it may be FTE operations, but we are seeing some interesting tools out there in the marketplace to at least automate some of those pipelines. And the key thing is really generating metadata for the data itself. It's not an easy problem to solve, but I see hope that it will happen. And if nothing else, it's going to be dictated by the payer. So if the money isn't happening, it's, pharma will fall in line. There are two more. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
We are running late, so
okay.
Can we take them offline?
I can take it offline. Very happy to take it offline.
Thank you so much for that.